YouTube live. So I'm not going to be able to see the chat, but if you can hear my voice, if anybody's online, just let me know that you can hear me or you can't hear me. Then when anybody comes in through the chat, then I will know that you can hear me or not, because it's sort of important as I'm explaining stuff as I go through that you can hear me, because I'm going to be explaining. Now, this is Cruz. He is a warm blood cross quarter horse. And you'll see as I come in that he's a little bit wary of what I'm doing, which is totally okay. It's completely okay, isn't it, mate? Yes, it's okay. Now, see his ears back then, and he stepped back and he went, oh, don't touch me there. I kind of don't like it there. I'm going to give him a couple of sunflower seeds to start with to say, hey, remember me? I'm okay. Everything's okay. And he's like, nope, don't touch me. So I back away. And then I go in. He says, don't touch me. So I back away. And we just wait. We wait for him to come in and say, howdy. And then I touch him. He says, no. I go to touch him. He says, no. And he is allowed to say no. Now, we've taught him smile. So when we say smile, he did it just before. Yep, you may not be able to see that on the camera because he did it the wrong way, but I'll try and get him to smile this way. Yeah, good boy. And now he's said, it's kind of okay to touch me there. I don't mind. Now, this horse has been terrified of any farrier equipment. So I expect when I pick this up that he's not going to follow me, but he is today because I have treats. So I'm just going to pop it down here, and I'm going to pop some gloves on, and I'm not going to, be super quiet. I'm not going to pussyfoot around him. He's smiling again, but you won't be able to see that. So I'm just going to walk a little bit over here, and I want him to sniff without any thing distracting him. I want him to be able to sniff the hoof stand and the rasps so that he knows that it's not a thing. It's just an object, and he doesn't need to be scared of it. So I'll ask him for a smile. You're going to smile this way? Smile. 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 Come on. I'm telling him, don't smile that way. Smile this way. Up. Smile. Good boy. Hoping you guys can see that. Anyway, that's the smiling. So I'm going to see if he'll let me touch his legs with the gloves on, because there's a different feel between having my normal hands and then having gloves on. He knows it's completely different. He's not silly. I'm just going to stand here and touch his leg. Good boy. And he walks off, and that's okay. That's totally okay. So I'm just going to tap that. Gonna sit on this bucket and start doing a few things. Now notice what he's doing. He's like, oh, that's a little bit scary. I don't like that, rasp. He's snorting. He's giving the cues that, he's uncomfortable. So I'm going to make some farrier sounds and so he needs to be sure that, everything's okay and that I'm not going to hurt him with the rasps. So when the farrier first came, he was absolutely 100% petrified. So we had to spend quite a lot of time with the farrier, of her just patting him and getting him accustomed to the fact that everything's okay here. And it tells a story. It tells a story. A lot of horses come with different glitches in them from what they've experienced, and they live wholly and solely in the moment. Absolutely in every moment. So if my energy goes up and my heart rate goes up, he's going to click into that and go, oh my gosh, what's going on? So I'm just going to show him the hoof pick and say, hey, I've got a hoof pick here. It's nothing more than a hoof pick. It cleans your feet, mate. So we'll see if he'll let me. What you can't see is that one of his legs is shaking. One of his front legs was shaking. And I don't want him to have that fear in him. So a lot of you who know me really well will know that I say the words, it takes the time it takes. I don't rush the horses into doing the things that I want them to do, because I want them, at the end of the day, if we have a exceedingly difficult situation to deal with where things are going wrong, I want them to trust me and go, you know what, she's got this. And I do. I've got them. So I want them to trust that I'm not going to hurt them. So I'm just going to turn my back. Now, as predators, we really love to look and touch and, become accustomed to our environment. With horses, the minute we stare at them, although he won't do that now because he knows I'm not his predator, and there he is smiling. He's like, if I smile, will I get a treat from your hands? And yes, he will at the moment, because that's what we're teaching him. We're teaching that lifting your lip, stretching your lip actually gets you a reward. So I'm going to turn around. I'm not going to look directly at him. I'm going to turn my back to him and I'm going to stop. And then I'm going to move forward and he's going to get curious about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And he'll probably do a few smiles, but I can't see those smiles. Now, remember, horses have eyes on the sides of their heads. They can't see directly in front of them and they can't see directly behind them. But they might not have that cognition that we don't have eyes in the sides of our heads. So they'll know that we can't see directly behind us, but they don't know that we can 100% see directly in front of us. So you notice what I'm doing here is when he comes up to me, I'm turning my back on him. I'm saying, yeah, I'm really not that interested in having a full conversation with you right now, until you come to the point, and notice what he did there. He got a little bit into my space and then made a safe decision for him and stepped back. So if I step back, he'll do one of two things. He'll come into my space, which he knows he's not allowed to do. So I just put my hand up. If he puts his head up, that's fine. But then he moves back. And he's like, what are you looking at? Oh, yeah, good job. You're smiling for the camera. Are you smiling for the camera? Good job. So I'm going to turn around and I'm just going to pick up his foot and we'll see if he allows me today. Which he didn't. Jack, it's enough. Which he didn't, which is okay. That's totally okay. But notice he just went, no, I don't want to give you my foot. I'd rather a treat, please, which is all right. It's totally okay. And then he got a bit worried and my dog got a bit worried that I kind of tumbled a little bit more forward, which is, this is horses. This is what happens. So he very well knows where the treats are. He knows they're in my pocket. They all know that they're in my pockets. Hey, don't you? Can you lift a leg for me? This leg or that leg? Which leg do you think you'll lift for me? Now, I could very well put a halter on him and make him do this, but I'm teaching him that it's totally okay to lift your foot and have your foot cleaned out if you're loose. It increases the risk, but I think that if a horse is stuck in a fence, you don't want them to panic and then never have, all right, no, I'm not giving you any more. I don't want them to panic and then not let me touch their feet. because I have to untangle their feet from, well, that's the hoof pick. I have to untangle their feet from the fence. So, there's a method in the what looks like madness here. Okay. Good boy. Having a yawn, a lick and a chew, is thinking about stuff. He'll probably smile again. Now I'm going to ask him if I can pat him on the shoulder. Good boy. Yeah, good boy. Did you see him give his foot then? Just going to bend down gently, and I'm going to pick up his foot. I'm going to clean it out. Now notice how much easier that was than forcing him to do something that he otherwise didn't want to do. There we go. Foot number 1 is all cleaned out. Now, you would have noticed that he went like this and gave me his foot. He's like, okay, I'm ready with that foot. So I'm going to wait. And on this live, I'm not going to do his back feet today. It's just a short live so that I can test out my systems. I can test out my microphone. I can see, what's working on YouTube, what's not working. And then the lives will get better and better as we go along. So I'm going to point to that foot and say, can I have that foot? Notice that I'm not looking directly at him. I'm looking at his hoof that I want to pick up. So I'm going to go a little bit closer and say, can I have this foot? And I'm looking at the ground. I'm not looking directly into his eyes. And let's have a look. Yeah, good boy. Good boy. Notice he took the weight off of that foot. He put his weight in the other feet. Good boy. Good boy. Lift it. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah, there you go. Sorry about the barking. Calm, quiet, confident, relaxed. It's all part of this training process to allow the horses the ability to self-regulate. If I'm unregulated and, running around the arena all silly and like really anxious and like, oh, he's not going to give me his foot. You know what? He's not going to give me his foot. Bruce. So I'm going to put some on here. I don't want to encourage him to eat the hoof stand, but I also don't want him afraid of the hoof stand. So I'm going to go like this. That's a big movement for him. And then I'm going to give him a treat. Take it away. So I don't want to swing this towards him. I only want it moving away from him. It's the best way you can get things or get horses to relax around new things is to move it away from them and let them come up to it and have a sniff and have a look. You can imagine if you've got a spider that you're incredibly fearful of, and probably for good reason as a human, and somebody comes up with a spider and goes, here, look at this, come on. You would back away and go, whoa, that is way too much. Nope, I can't do that. Same with horses. We don't want to oversaturate them too much with things that they don't like. So if somebody backs away with a spider and says, oh, but look at how cute it is, look at its 6 eyes, you may be able to get to a point where you can look at its eyes as an individual rather than the whole of the spider being scary. You're only focusing on that one thing of the spider, the eyes. And arachnophobes absolutely wouldn't be able to do that, but they may be able to work to a point where they could look at a spider's eyes without feeling that fear build up, the gut movements, the sweats, the shaking, your amygdala in your brain going, we aren't safe right now. You need to fight, flight, freeze, or fawn right now. You need to get the rock out of there, or you need to just stop dead still. So that's it for today from Cruz and I. We will definitely be going live more often and for longer. And I'm going to live stream a lot of my training sessions, not so that people can criticize, but so they can watch, they can learn. I've now grown a thick skin. I really don't care about criticism anymore, because I know what I'm doing is the right thing for me and the horses in this moment. And as I learn more, as I do more, I get better. That's what we do. And I really encourage you guys, if you're criticizing this or you're feeling like you want to be critical, I want you to look deep inside of yourself and say, why am I feeling critical? Why is this coming up in me? What part of me is this triggering? Give it a try this week. Give it a try for the next couple of days of like, why am I having this reaction to this video, to my mum, to my husband, to my daughter, to my friend? And really start to get to know yourself and know your triggers and just know why you react in the way that you react. And it might be previous situations. It might be because it's different to what you do with horses or different to your belief system. But you know what? It's okay. It's not abuse. It's not anything that's harmful to the horse. So there really is nothing to be critical of, but bring it. So thank you for watching. I'm going to come up and push stop in a moment, and I welcome you to come back. Bye, everybody. Now, that was like a super quick little training session with Cruz, but I guarantee you next time I bring the hoof stand out, he's going to be acting differently and happier about it. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Oh, you are. It is fun riding horses. And, you can be super scared about going towards horses. See how he's smiling? See how he's smiling? We don't want to race into their space. We want to, as Ozzy said, we want to let them come to you. We want them to be intrigued by you. And you guys saw that when I went up to him, he backed away. Yet when I moved off, he came towards me. So thanks so much for watching, guys. And I will see you next time. And I'm glad you can hear me. Bye. Now I just got to work out how to end it.